Welcome into the Film Guy Network. It's football season, which means I've got a film study for you. Let's shut up and grind some tape. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back into the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Tuesday afternoon, evening, Wednesday morning. However, whenever you found this, I hope it found you in a good spot. I hope you're happy. Hope you're having a great day, and I hope you're ready to lock in for the next hour to 90 minutes, however long this is going to take. Obviously, broke down the first half. If you have not watched it, you're one of the few, okay? There's like 26,000 people by the point of this being released that have probably already seen that film study. We appreciate you guys watching that. Georgia obviously hopped out to a big lead in that football game, 23-7 at the half. But Sarkisian's one of these football coaches and coordinators who typically, whatever he's doing in the first half, hopefully he's having success with it. That's what he's hopeful for. But really, he's really setting up the entire game plan for a full 4 quarters. So I was very curious what the adjustments were going to be. How is he going to go back to attack this Georgia defense after having seen a full sample of it in the first half? Not a ton of it, but how could you expect it with the way Georgia's defense is ultimately playing in this football game? I think the biggest takeaway that I have leaving the notes and entering this film study was that Georgia's coordinating staff earned the right to be exotic on third down with the discipline and the preparation on first and second down. Okay, when this Texas offense is in a situation where they're in constant 2nd and 6+ after a first down rushing attempt with a play-action, deep shot passing game, you're never going to have the ability to take those shots comfortably. Okay, on 2nd and 6, those need to be 2nd and 3s for those explosives to hit consistently. Those need to be 2nd and 1s. And when you're averaging 4 yards in a cloud of dust in the run game because Georgia is so prepped, it's going to be a hard game for you in the passing game. And that's exactly what happened for these guys. Super excited to do this with you again. If you're new to the channel, man, and this is the first time watching us, make sure you're subscribing and damn sure make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button no matter what. We appreciate you for being here. We got a saying around here. All right, it's time to shut up and grind the tape. Let's get after it, Jonathan. I'm excited to do this with you guys today. Let's make sure we unmute the microphone. Binger, banger, bongo. There we go. All right, we're ready to rock. We're going to start here. First possession of the second half. Texas has got the football, and I'm going to tell you right now, all right, nobody on this football team, and maybe Dan Jackson, nobody on this football team is playing over their pay grade right now other than number 52. Kristen Miller has been playing tremendous football this season. Okay, here he is right here at the 3 technique position. All right, and it's important to stack guys, right? It's important to hold them at the line of scrimmage, but being able to disengage, all right, being able to get rid of that block, shed that block, all right, peek and shed, right? We got to be able to strike, peek the ball carrier, shed the block. That's exactly what's going on right here for number 52. That's a tremendous job, and this is what I'm talking about, man. 2nd and 7s are not ideal for any offense, but they're really not ideal for a Texas offense. Also, where are you going, 26? Come on now. Come on now. Probably could have hit that a little bit more aggressively, but the snap's a little bit off as well. All right. So this play's kind of thrown off from Jump Street. Right there, we fumbled the snap as a quarterback. All right, so the mesh point's all jacked up. The running back's probably expecting this football right here. Instead, he gets it about a half yard late. So, yeah, he is a little bit late to the cutback. All right, so we're missing plays off the snap, but I still think the running back probably could have hit that backside. So that's a missed opportunity for those guys. But nonetheless, a great job shedding blocks right there for number 52. And here we go again. Watch this from 78 and 52 right here in the middle of this defensive line, okay? They are both going to show tremendous shock off the line of scrimmage, okay? There is no win at the line of scrimmage from Texas. There's no resetting of the line of scrimmage right here. Maybe a little bit in this double against Nas, but watch Nas get skinny and split this double team anyways. Boom, right there. Both of those guys shedding blocks immediately, right? It's great that we can hold the line of scrimmage, but we got to get off those guys. We got to shed those blocks. All right. And as Texas offensive linemen, the only way we can counteract this is to continue to run our feet. All right. as that guy tries to shed off of us. But if he does it that aggressively, if he does it as aggressively as 52 does it right here, there ain't going to be a lot of you winning. Only other coaching point for Texas, I'd say right there, is that initial hand placement for 52 being over the top of that shoulder pad. I don't know if you can see that, but that hand is on the top of that shoulder pad. If we're going to play that way, we got to be up underneath the pit, all right? So he can't fight back over the top of us, all right? So hand placement is important here as well. We got to reset, all right, or else he is going to shed us. And now you're in a 3rd and 4. Let's go to 30-54. They were playing pretty slow all game, was Texas, okay? Now, Georgia was playing an interesting form of coverage here against these kind of bunch formations, what they were doing, and I'll show a clearer picture of it later. Hold on, let's watch this. Let's watch this, okay? We're getting truck tossed anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All right, look at the block avoidance right here from number 3. Look at this guy, all right? First of all, his depth is important, okay? He's back behind this nickel defender, or Malachi Starks. He's back behind him, so when he goes to flow, he's not caught up in any type of trash, or if he has to take the back, he's not caught up in any type of trash, right? He's back behind. His alignment's important here on 3rd and 4. Now, watch this, okay? He gets here, and that's kind of a dirty picture, right? We got 65 coming in here as well. Watch him dip up underneath 65 right here, get back flat, and make this play. Right there. Boom. That's linebacker play, man. Sometimes it's an individual effort. Sometimes it's one guy making an elite play. Also, the flow from the rest of the defense. Look at everybody. Look at everybody hunting the football on 3rd and 4. All right, force a 4th down right here. Everything good over there? This has been, this 4th and 1 right here, okay? This is a delightful end around call. The timing of it, everyone's expecting you to be running the ball down the throat of this defense, right? Everybody's expecting heavy run game, and then all of a sudden we're going to call this end around to Ryan Wingo. Now, here's the deal. Cameraman even thought it was going to be a play up in the middle. We can't see nothing. All right, the cameraman really screwed us up here. But what I can see is a bunch of Georgia defenders rallying to the football right now on 4th and 1. Is it a 1st down? Yes, they pick up the 1st down. It's an 8-yard gain. But here's the difference in what Texas has been doing. All right, this was a 50-yard run last week against Oklahoma. This was a 65-yard touchdown 5 weeks ago against Michigan. All right, that's the difference right now in this particular football game. All right, now I'm not saying any other defense is going to be able to limit these things, but Malachi Starks does. All right, and it's speed, because this is the guy. This is the guy who made that play all the way over here. And right now, Ryan Wingo's down here at the bottom of your screen, already out-leveraged him in full sprint. So it is a byproduct of their player acquisition strategies at Georgia as well, because they are team speed oriented. That's what they are. And by the way, hey, there was no assumption from number 24 that any of his teammates were about to make that play. All right, so you want to see the difference between 31 points allowed against Mississippi State a couple weeks ago, and this right here was at Auburn that we showed that clip against. It was Auburn. All right, so there's a little difference. And being ready to play. Now, hey, Malachi, every single down. I know it's a lot to ask of you. It's a lot to ask of you, but that's how we go from a 15th overall selection to an all-pro one day in the league. Just no assumptions that teammates are going to make plays, but overall team speed is the real difference maker right here, right? Preparedness, right? Everyone forcing this back in, everyone being out there, but really that last line of defense being there and being running hard. That's the difference. Okay, 31-50 is where we're headed next. All right, so I'm kind of surprised it took them this long to get back to a version of getting this type of man that they were getting, right? When we send this cheat motion out from that number 2 receiver, okay, we saw a little bit earlier where Georgia actually had, there were 3 guys over here, and Georgia played a bunch of man coverage to it. Normally, when they get this, they'll eventually attack that man again. So here's what they're doing. They're going to send this guy out in motion. Jonel Aguero is going to travel with him. All right, we got a point man right here indicating a bunch of man coverage with 1 safety over the top. So here we go. We're going to drive into that void with Isaiah Bond. We're going to cheat this. All right, and then break this dig off once we force that nickel to flip his hips, okay? I'm a little surprised. Yeah, we came back to it eventually, but a little surprised it took this long Normally when he shows something or when you show you do something, he comes back to it with a specific beater for exactly that. This is a prime example. This nickel defender is in tremendous amounts of conflict, especially once that wide receiver sells that vertical. Jodell has to flip his hips and attempt to run down the sideline because he's afraid. He has no safety help this way, right? So if you sell this, he's got to flip his hips. We're in his window. We come back in and run that dig. And that was their biggest pass play of the game, correct? I believe so. The biggest pass play of the game for them right there. Remember that kind of bunched concept, getting that man coverage, all right, or a version of man coverage. It turns into it, especially as they bunch, all right? 32-15. Simple stunts, man. Simple stunts will throw off wide zone concepts. Okay, let's talk about this a little bit, all right? They're a wide zone football team, or for the most part. That's what they do best. When they're in times of peril, they're going to lean on that wide zone in the run game to try to get positive plays. So what is wide zone? Everybody's on these arcs, right? Everybody's trying to reach their gap in front of them, all right? We're trying to get this stretch, crease, right? Stretch, crease. That's what we're trying to do as an offense. So as a defense, what is the best way to mess this up? One little stem, one little stunt, right, as the ball is snapped. So what you're going to see here is Georgia's going to do a little gap replace. Okay, everyone's going to jump one gap. They're going to plug Jalen Walker. And what it ends up doing, all right, is it puts this guy in conflict. When this guy crosses his face, he doesn't know, do I stay on track as I'm coached to do, or do I turn back and pin this guy inside? All right, they're in conflict because of the stunt. Watch Damon right there. All right, so this guy's been taught ever since he was in grade school running wide zone, stay on your track, stay on your track, stay on your track. So what does that mean? Oh, okay, the guy jumped inside me. That's fine. Stay on my track. I'm going to go this way. All right, well, the assumption of staying on your track is there because you think your teammate's on his. All right, and if your teammate's on his, that's great. But what happens if your teammate has a combination block in front of him, which is exactly what's happening right now for Texas's offensive line? Look at this right guard right here. All right, he's got a 3-tech in front of him that goes back this way. So he should be staying on his track, right? He should be staying on his track, doing his job. But he's not. He folds back. All right, he folds back and tries to seal that 3-tech, thinking that the right tackle doesn't have a stunt like he does. All right, so the whole classic do your job, it doesn't matter, get a face mask anyways. But this is one little way to mess up these wide zone concepts if they're not 100% locked up in what they're supposed to be doing. There's a quick adjustment, though, Jonathan. When teams start doing that to wide zone teams, as an offensive line, we got to get deeper on our tracks. That's all. We got to have more time to sort out stunts, okay? But when they randomly throw it at us, out of like just once or twice, that creates a problem. Hey, team speed again. Team speed again. How many times has this linebacker against Texas the last 4 or 5 games been right there, or worse, right there because his eye discipline was terrible? All right? A lot, right? A lot. This is the difference, right? When you go, they ain't played nobody, Paul. That's what we mean. They ain't played nobody, Paul. They ain't played nobody like this, okay? So even when they're in the red zone, they're going to make them crawl. It is Georgia. Where are we at time-wise? 52 is where we're headed next. They were playing really, really slow. There wasn't a singular line of scrimmage player for Georgia that didn't make a big play in this football game. Not a one. I think this is Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins knocking this ball down. All right? I mean, just a perfect timing. You can't get home, get your hands up, knock the ball down. You're 6'5", you're 290 pounds, you got tremendous length, get your hands up. But Damon Wilson made plays in this game. Jalen Walker obviously made tremendous amounts of plays in this game. Nas Stackhouse and Kristen Miller made plays in the run game. Michael Williams was all over the field and finally healthy. Damon Wilson was making plays. Chaz Chambliss made the biggest play at the end of the game to end the game. Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins with a knockdown play here. I mean, every single line of scrimmage player from Georgia that was on the field made a play. Made a play when they were called. All right, this is back to this bunch formation. I think they're going to motion back in here. Hold on. Why don't I just read my notes instead of trying to guess what I'm looking at? Yeah, back to the bunch. All right, so here's what Georgia's doing. They're playing outside trap. All right, so if anybody comes out, you immediately got that. All right, so you've got the first guy on the inside. You're going to take the second. You're going to take the third. All right, so watch how this sorts out. All right, there goes the first. He's taking the third right now. The tight end bailed out, and he's taking number 2. Okay, so it turns into a pseudo man coverage. Now, great play call here from Texas in terms of the little hezzy right here from the number 2 wide receiver, right? He shows, KJ bites, and then he gets past him. It's a PI right there more than it is what he actually gets called for. He gets called for it on the back end right here with that backhand that you can't see on the end zone copy. This guy, this backline judge, is the one who calls this penalty, and they're taught if that offhand is pulling that back jersey on that end zone clip, that is an automatic PI. All right, an automatic PI. But I think he gets beat on the play on the initial little hook right there. That little hesitation right there causes a little bit of, separation and a force of a hold. Good little play call, though, wasn't it? Good little play call, though, wasn't it? He's starting to work now to help that you hit the front line on the kickoff to start the half. All right, and giving it to him at the midfield, and then obviously a PI. Now, I told you last week this was going to be in the book for Texas because I saw Mississippi State do it to you. This little zipper motion, all right, on the goal line against cover 0, you're going to get this. Where the number 1 receiver's putting you in conflict out here, forcing that guy to run over, you're going to get this. Now, the cool part about this for Texas was they didn't do it out a bunch. All right, because Georgia had fixed that alignment out a bunch. We just showed you with Julian Humphrey playing that outside trap coverage, playing those 3 guys in. I take 1, you take 2, you take 3, right? They fixed that alignment, but here they get it to him in a different way. They put him in a 3-by-1 motion out, all right, with that zipper motion and that wide receiver way out there. And then they shoot that cannon off right in that man's face. That shit is so loud. And look how cool, I don't think I left it off. Look how cool Bond is. He don't even flinch. I'm going to tell you right now, I would have been shook. All right, here's it's a very similar concept here. They know they're going to get man coverage with this bunch, right? One guy playing all the way out. Now, here's what gets them. That late motion right there. All right, this late motion gets Julian Humphrey. Okay, right there. You see that? See that little hesitation going outwards? They're running this concept back in. So that one little late motion adjustment from Texas creates this separation. So Sark's getting to some things now that are working for him, all right, as the second half starts to progress. As we expected. Timestamp. All right. I got one. As a former center, I got one problem. Your mic identifications, and this, I tweeted one out yesterday. Your mic identifications are not very good right now. I don't know. I believe we're running some type of inside zone concept this way as an offense. So there makes no sense why you would mic ID. We got to take 2 guys because we've got 6. Okay, so we have 2 combinations working up. Most likely this one working up to what should be the play side mic. You're out on that guy, which leaves you 2 guys working through the nose back to the backside inside linebacker, and you're what we call locked on the backside. Okay, as a running back, we got to outrun or beat the nickel. That's what it should be. I don't know why he's out here pointing to this guy. The only thing I can think is he thinks they have an opportunity to double up this way, okay? He's going to call a solo himself, and they're doubling back here, and we're going to leave Etienne one-on-one with Anthony Hill. But that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, okay? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, especially because this guy could be leaving. He could be in pass coverage. All right, so we want to take the most important ones, not the guy out here. So just... And maybe this could be due to rust. This could be due to something that they're calling. But here's the deal. Here's why your quarterback's your quarterback. He sees what everybody else sees. What are y'all? We're not doing that. All right, we got to fix the mic IDs. He's going to come up here right here and point to 18, point to 0, get it called correctly. Offensive line, get the call, right? And like I said, we've got to outrun this nickel, right? If he comes, we just got to outrun him as a running back. That's exactly what they do. And because they got the mics re-identified, we don't have a hitter running right through the line of scrimmage right now, right? If these guys were folding back out, this linebacker would be right in Etienne's face at -2, and that's Anthony Hill, dude. He ain't often missing that tackle. So again, what could have been a 2nd and 8 or worse, a 2nd and 12 is now a 3rd and 3. I mean, that's football, and the ball backed up in your own end, all right, with the other team finally creating some type of sense of momentum. All right, now, I question your preparedness, and I don't know if it's your fault. I don't know whose fault it is, but guys, and I know it's tough, but there's a corner out here, a wide receiver out here. This is the nickel. That's the wide receiver the nickel's responsible for. I don't know if you can see, Jonathan, but what's that nickel doing? He is not going for the screen that's hitting right now. He's certainly not. He's running out to God knows what. I don't know where he's going. All right, he's running out this way where there's nobody left. All right, and obviously you have a tight end coming to block you right now. Imagine if you were doing what you're supposed to do and playing alert right now or being prepared. All right, I don't know. Again, it's hard to be hypercritical, but when you really watch it in full speed, it's like, where's the nickel going? What does he think he's got going on? Look at him. He's way out of position. All right, he just now realized we've got tunnel back coming this way. But it doesn't really matter. All right, it's 3rd and 3. It's a first down. But 95, I'm going to tell you right now, 95 is a football playing son of a bee. This is their best line of scrimmage player, I thought, Saturday night. By the way, this guy's 6'5", 320 pounds. This was a tremendously savvy play here from Jared Wilson as well. Look at this. Yank. That's nice. Okay. Pull the mic closer to your face. One more time.
The only thing I can think is that the nickel thinks it's bubble to the outside, and he's guessing on it because he immediately shoots that way.
Oh, you think he's got this, like a swing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. That's a good enough reason. It's incorrect as a play, but yeah, it's good enough reasoning. Maybe that's going to be your role in film study, player defense when I'm out here blaming somebody. Maybe coach defense as well. Oh, this play is absolutely jacked from the jump. Absolutely jacked from the jump. They're trying to run play action this way with the arrow here. I don't know what we got front side. I think that's a deep and maybe something working out here. But nonetheless, it's a play action concept. But our left tackle as an offense right now is so terrified of speed rush that he's bailing out of his stance immediately, and he messes up the return from Dylan right there. Boom. Play's jacked. Play's absolutely jacked right now because he's supposed to be right here and in line with the quarterback as the quarterback rolls to his right. Okay? So the play's absolutely cooked. You got to go. You got to close ground now. It's play action. You got time. You got time to run him around the loop, okay? You got time to run him around the loop. You can't be kick sliding, essentially, right here, knocking off the motion. All right. Now, this is power pass, and I never was in a power pass system, all right, which means basically we've got blocking back concepts here. We're going to pull a guard to hopefully influence linebackers here. We're also going to fake the truck toss, okay? So it's a version of power pass with a truck toss, action in the backfield. But nonetheless, the pass protection is power pass, which means we've got down blocks this way and we're pulling for the backside in. This is a crucial block, but the most important block is this backside hinge from this center, okay? Because it's really, really, really difficult. You have a 3 technique, okay, going straight up the field. I have to snap the ball and get out to him without allowing him to get to the quarterback immediately. All right, I've always wondered, is there any way we can influence this to get the 3 technique away from the center's back block? Is there any way at all? And I don't know if there is because you always have to put the back over here, right? But I don't know. It's just interesting because it's a tough ask for that center, and it's what kind of rushes. It doesn't rush this throw, but it doesn't allow Carson to really get into his front side, and you can kind of see him spinning off of it. And by the way, this is a slant. Okay, these slants have to be thrown. These are what called one balls. Like, we have to stand on these things and rip them. They got to be thrown really, really hard and into tight windows, and we can't do that because the center's trying to back hinge, and the 3-tech doesn't get influenced very much by the guard pulling. So it's a tough thing. And I always wondered as an offensive lineman, like, is there any way we can, coaches, I'm asking, is there any way we can avoid this? Because later in the game, it works great because the guard pulls, and you'll see it. The 3-tech is influenced by the guard pull. But we're kind of hoping the 3-tech is influenced as opposed to just also meanwhile hoping that the 3-tech doesn't blow up the play. I don't know. Also, there's just not a lot of centers in the SEC that are going to win that 100% of the time. Hey, front side safety getting a little leaky versus that Dover. Bang! Little leaky versus that Dover, man. All right, here it comes. We got this one. I think we got some type of man winner over here against the trap coverage over there, or the man-to-man coverage from the corner on the single man side. But this guy, man, you run this a lot, all right, and it's gonna get you every once in a while. Wham! One more look at it. Not a lot of separation being created anywhere, is there, except for right there, but the safety's there. You know, life is a whole lot easier. Life is a whole lot easier when this guy's a dude. You know what I mean? When that guy over there by himself all the time, and it's London here, but it's whoever it is. It's the guy who's playing X or the guy who's motioned away from it and is by himself. You know what happened years ago when George Pickens was on the field? This safety would never, ever dare. Never, ever dare. If this guy was running this way, if this dude's a dude, if this guy's running this way, that safety's always pulled. So that frontside safety's never getting leaky against these Dover concepts when you have a dude on that outside that's demanding that safety's attention. Look, you get a vertical release right here from London Humphreys, and the safety never once thinks about bailing over the top of it. Never once thinks he's got to turn and run because he's in conflict because that X receiver is a dude, or the guy out there can't win, or his guy can't win, right? So boom, he ends up having his eyes on your deep over and smacks him right in the face. All right, first possession. Oh my God, it's a duck fart. There's a duck fart from Quinn Ewers right here. I honestly think if this ball is thrown, we got a recording issue here. I honestly think if this ball's thrown well, okay, you can't see it, but Julian Humphrey is on top of that receiver here who is bending in this way. Malachi Starks is working over the top of this. If this ball is thrown worth a damn at all, I truly believe that Malachi gets over the top of this. You tell me. Right? I mean, it's thrown back shoulder. You could maybe, and I don't know, maybe Quinn would tell us that in post game. You know, I intended to duck fart that one, but I have a photo of it, and the ball is literally nose down, maybe 5 feet from his hands. You know, it's not in a good flight at all as soon as it left his fingers. But big play. And now they're trying to get the offense moving, right? Now they're trying to get the offense moving. All right, 1st and 10. So here we go. Let's get a good run play going. Let's get a good run play going. Or a screen out to the flat. Can we get something to hit? Can we get something to hit? Or are they going to make a tackle? We got a one-on-one. Nope, they made a tackle. Boom. Team speed, corners tackling, tight ends. Great stuff. What used to be a 2nd and 1 is now, you guessed it, a 2nd and 6. So here they go. Now they're living in 2nd and 6. And guess what? These guys on 2nd and 6, they ain't too much in conflict. Are you running? Are you passing? All right, 9 times out of 10, you're probably safe to play the pass right here, or at least feel like you're not in conflict to run up into the box. All right, they're going to split the looks anyways. You run the ball, and you get a big, successful game. First one all game. But I would have came to the sideline, and I thought about how I would coach this situation. Look at Raylan Wilson. All right, watch this interaction between he and 81. Watch 81 really, okay? This is what we call, I don't question toughness on this channel, but what we do talk about is whether or not a blocker picked a side. And when blockers pick sides, there's one reason why they do it. They don't want that contact. All right, so here's 81, and I would have came to the sideline, and I would have showed them, I would have said, boys, this is their biggest run of the day. Their biggest run of the day right here. And look what the tight end's doing to you, Raylan. Look what the tight end's doing to you, Raylan. He's avoiding contact. He's picking a side. All right, we got him. We got him, boys. That's it. We got him. So the next time, Raylan, that tight end shows up, run through his face. Don't allow him the chance to pick a side. Run through his face. All right? Some real macho football talk right here on the channel today. But even on their biggest run, I saw signs of, oh man. You know what I mean? Ooh, let's talk Chaz Chambliss, shall we? Let's talk Chaz Chambliss, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? All right, I said on Twitter, I don't think I know what happened. I know what happened. I know what's going on. Y'all got to watch. Y'all got to pay attention, young offensive lineman, any offensive lineman playing this dude. And there's no way to avoid this, so I don't feel uncomfortable giving away this little trick or whatever, right? He's just a really smart football player. And when you have really smart football players in front of you, you can't communicate. You have to be silent communication with the guy next to you. You have to be so comfortable with the guy next to you that you don't talk to him. Because if you talk to him at all in the first quarter, by the second quarter, the guy across from you, Chaz Chambliss, knows what you're saying. By the third quarter, he knows what you're doing by what you're saying. So here's what I think's happening. I think that left tackle is saying something to that left guard right there about having to go fully out, right? We're fully out. We all have to go. All right. And that little, whatever his terminology is, whatever his communication is, maybe it's just the communication in general, or maybe it's the stance, whatever it is, 32's got a cue. 32's got a cue right now. All right. Not only does he know that it's run, all right, not only does he know that it's run, he knows that it's outside run. He's going to tell his teammates that it's outside run. And, by the way, don't know if you noticed, just switched his stance to make sure he doesn't get reached. Now, he's going to attack the outside shoulder of this left tackle, and he's going to spread out and make sure he doesn't get reached, hold that point of the attack, force that ball back inside. Look at that. Boom. Now, not only is he ahead of the curve now, though, but look at 8's reaction. 8's reaction is immediate as well. He's jumping outside because he knows 32 is right all the time. My guy's right. If my guy's telling me something, he's 100% right. I remember Oscar saying something about this in preseason. He was like, it's so hard to play against him because it's almost like he knows what we do. And most people hear that and they're like, oh, it's because he's playing his own teammates, right? He's been there forever. He knows the system, whatever. No. I've seen him do this for years on tape where he's picking up things in the middle of the third quarter that he's seen for a while. Well prepared football team. Timestamp. 32. All right. You got to rip this ball. You got to rip this ball, Quinn. All right, they're showing too high, rotating to one. Actually, he's rotating inside for this deep crosser. Okay, he's waiting for this to happen. But with this deep safety over the top, this deep bender turns into a sit. All right, watch this wide receiver sit and look at this grass. Okay, his eyes are on him. All right, he's locked into this read. So he's got inside leverage, over the top leverage, outside leverage, and this guy's going to hook into all three zones or all three defenders and show face. Guys, we've got to rip that football in this football game. We're down 23-15 or 20. We're down 15 points at home. Number one team in the nation. You're an NFL football player. That ball's got to be ripped. Amen. Amen. Ball's got to be ripped. All right. So that's the criticism. Yeah, you force a check down, and that's awesome, and it's a big play for you. All right. But it's process, not results. We're a process, not results around here. All right. It's one of the biggest pass plays they have in this football game. Jaden Blue making this guy miss. All right. But process, not results. All right, if I'm evaluating the quarterback, that's a turn down to me. All right, and I don't like turn downs. Because the coordinator's trying at this point. Okay, the coordinator's really trying at this point to get some stuff working. All right, he really is. And the quarterback's not necessarily pulling the trigger. We go to the very next play. Okay, they give that cheat motion, bring it back inside. All right, now jet it out. All right, here we go. Let's see, they got the double move on this cover three. All right, Georgia's been playing a lot of this, splitting the safeties, right? They got a double move working in here. He squats it and then runs vertically right here into this void. Check this out. Boom, there goes the double move. He gets past the safety. This ball to number 0 can be thrown right here for a tud. right here for a tud. It's right there on tape, okay? And look at Zero's face. He's looking for the ball. He's wanting it, okay? Accurate assessment of this turn down, Jonathan? Fair or unfair? The coordinator's trying to give you a winner on 1st and 10, and you're turning it down, checking it into the flat. The ball is dropped. Now it is 2nd and 10. I like me some Gunnar Helm, brother. I love this. Watch this on this. It's kind of like wham, H insert, whatever you want to call it. I call it H insert around this channel. And not only does he come in here and knock number 11 out of this play. All right, not only does he do that, but he delivers this 3-tech to his guard as well. Watch this from 85. Look at this, boink, and then bounces right back out and gets a hat on number 11. I'm telling you, man, I like me some Gunnar Helm. Okay. I also would love the back to just be like, oh, you know, oh, looky there. But that's a tough ask. I think Nas is probably making that play if you do that. There's the grass anyways. Sprint through it. You did the right job. 5-yard gain, though. We'll take that as an offense to get into 3rd and 5. And I think you have tendencies, buddy. I think you have tendencies. I do. I really do. At least as a guy who's watched you the last 3 weeks. I think one of your 2 tendencies is to run the ball a lot when you get into a no-huddle situation. When you NASCAR onto the ball, you're either running the same exact play that you just had success with, or you're getting back on the ball to suddenly rush the football. That's one tendency. I think the other tendency is when you spread to empty, you tend to throw some type of quick or now screen. And yeah, I think those are the 2 big ones for this football team so far. Also, I think, and I'd have to run the numbers on this, I think when you check with me at the line of scrimmage a lot on short yardage downs, I think you run the football. I would check all of those tendencies if I were playing you. And I think you did have some tendencies based off the way these guys are responding right now to this tendency that I'm talking about, okay? You're getting back on the ball, 28 seconds left, snapping it now. The ball's about to be in the air. And look at these guys respond on the line of scrimmage to your run actions, okay? Those guys are hunting the run down right now on 3rd and 5. How often is that? You know, I know you're in 2-down territory, but you see what I'm saying? It's 3rd and 5, and these guys are attacking run schemes right now. They are hunting the run game right now. All these guys confidently doing so. That indicates to me either a tremendous amount of preparedness or a tendency breaker. You have some type of tendency. You want to see a screenshot Twitter? Screenshot Twitter going to love this one. You ready? Screenshot Twitter going to love this one. That's all my notes say, and I can't remember why, but I got it. Here we go. Oh, screenshot Twitter going to love this one. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It's a touchdown. Let's talk about it. All right. So on 4th and 6 right here, we've got man coverage called. Okay. It's man-to-man. They've been playing a lot of it, right? Going to take the number 1 inside or run with the tight end, right? He's going to match up with the back probably. And then you're pinned up over here. We got a safety over the top to help us out. Nonetheless, this ends up working into man. On the other side, they've got safety help. 2 receivers over there, I believe, as well. They've got man coverage on that side with safety help. So, in other words, we have man to man across the board. All right, so as a quarterback on 4th and 6, I've been getting pressure all damn day long. I'm going to take my 3-step drop, and I'm picking a side pre-snap. That's what I'm doing. I'm picking a side pre-snap, and I'm living with the results. All right, so if I come over here and that corner has jumped that route, I can't throw that ball because it's going to be a pick. But if there's a tight window, tough titty, I got to make it. I got to rip it, right? I got to absolutely go for it. All right, so here he goes. He works left immediately off the snap. And yeah, that's opening up. That's great. All right, but that's screenshot Twitter football. That is not real football. Real football is I am working left off the snap. The ball is snapped. I'm working left. End of story. Now, my discussion with him would be, why weren't we working right? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That would be my discussion with him as a coach. We'd come off the field and we'd say, hey, why weren't you working right? Why did you decide to go left? And if he gives me the right answer, or if he gives me a clarified answer in the moment, then you got to live with those results. Your wide receiver didn't create separation in that moment. Let's go to 38-54. All right, when I first watched this, I thought it was a bust. I thought somebody did the wrong job. But I do want to be a little bit, not critical, all right, but I want to provide some some suggestions here. All right, so here's what Georgia's got going on. They've got arc releases from both tight ends to take care of 1 and 2. All right, they are down blocking or fake counter pulling with these guys. All right, and that's ultimately going to take care of this guy. All right, don't know why that extra one got coming. They've got jet motion coming across. All right, and they've got a stock block here with number 1. Now, the only problem with this is this 9 technique right here is in a 9. He's stretched all the way out there, all the way beyond C gap. He's into D gap, and we're trying to leave him, all right, unblocked, and he has way too much room to get upfield and make an impact into this play. So there's the issue. Now, let me provide you some answers, all right? Look at this counter motion here. It takes care of him with the back block from the center, but this guy is not influenced at all by that tackle pull away. He's sprinting straight towards the jet sweep. So here's my suggestion. We do one of 2 things as an offense. One, we motion the quarterback out, and we get into wildcat. All right, so when you actually show this counter motion, this defensive end is actually influenced by it, because the idea that you're pulling without a running back back there, you don't run quarterback run. I'm not respecting this counter motion. Why would I? You don't do that stuff. So if you have a quarterback or a running back there, you might actually influence him. That's suggestion number 1. Suggestion number 2 is we go tackle over. We put the Y right here, put an offensive tackle attached on the line of scrimmage over here to squeeze that 9 down into a 7. Right? If we squeeze that 9 down into a 7 or down into hopefully a 5 technique somehow, we've now squeezed his alignment based off ours, and we can actually get this hit. All right, those would be my 2 suggestions on this type of play. Because I don't think somebody busted, unless you're telling this guy, unless you're telling me that he was supposed to lock on. If he's supposed to lock on, I'll shut my mouth. That's a busted assignment. We'll move on. Normally, bust assignments don't happen with that kind of conviction, though. You know what I mean? Come on, Dylan. Come on, Dylan. Come on, Dylan. Here we go. All right. You won the initial rep. We fell off our block. One thing that we have found out this point in this season, if you're the guy, all right, he's going to win his. He is going to win his, man. Trevor Etienne is going to win his. So all you got to do is make sure you don't even have to win yours. You don't have to win the rep. You just got to finish the rep. You got to be on your feet when it comes time, because that's happening. All right. And he's going to put that safety on his ass, and he's going to run to a touchdown if the left guard is just attached throughout the play. Again, man, like, you don't have to run this guy into the damn sideline. You just got to stay attached through the echo of the whistle, because this dude's going to make something happen every single time he's got it. Every single time he's got it, you just got to take care of yours. Look at that. For him to even get back into that hole and still make that move on that safety, insanity. Insanity. Big lick from that defensive lineman, though. Great job pursuing the football from him. 39-33, is this the interception? All right, so here we go. We're gonna have a lesson on what's called a mirrored concept. Asymmetrical here, okay? Little geometry class here. We have the same thing on the right as we do the left. We've got mandatory outside release go balls, all right? We have comebacks out here. The reason being, Texas has been playing a lot of this kind of cover 3 with these corners, playing with this inside leverage. They'll turn their butts to the actual field post-snap. Let's watch these corners work. Downset hut, they will turn their butt to the inside of the field out here. So conceptually, we have this running. We have this running. All right, we have a comeback beyond the sticks, working back to the sticks, and a comeback beyond the sticks, back to the sticks. As a quarterback, at the pre-snap, I'm identifying the side that I like. We have the same thing working both sides, so I'm going to attack the matchups that I like best. He likes Arian over here, so he's working to it. Matter of fact, he's already opened up to it and throwing to it. Now, here's why I think, and I know I get called apologist on this network all the time, but I'm explaining football to you guys. He's already in his break, or coming out of his break. He's about to turn back out and be ready to catch the football. We're still out here having OPI. All right, and I got discussions on Twitter of whether or not this was offensive pass interference or defensive pass interference. But he might as well be blocking out there right now with the ball in the air. All right, so that's OPI, and we should already be out of our break. We should already be working back towards the football. Hell, the ball's in the air already. All right, and we just now turned around, and Texas's defender is already picking this football off. And then returning it for quite a ways. All right, now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I am not a conspiracy theorist, but let's have a talk about this. All right, so this is obviously when the trash starts to come down. All right, and I got some very unique clips. All right, here comes Sark. Sark is mother effing the piss up out of this receiver right here. Now, as this is happening, the trash is starting to flow. He is giving that man hell. Now, as soon as this camera cut ends, all right, right there, come on, oh, right there, all right. So at this point, that referee that Sark was yelling at has now walked to the referees and started to have a conversation. Now, I don't know about you, Jonathan, but I want you to watch these guys really, really closely. I want the audience to watch these guys really, really closely. You tell me if any of these dudes are talking. If they're talking to one another at all. Matter of fact, go ahead and zoom in just a tad bit for the audience in this general area of the screen for these guys. And you tell me again, if any, we'll let that, we'll let that go. All right, I see a bunch of guys looking down at the ground, not having much conversation with one another. Is that what you see, Jonathan? Mm-hmm. All right, don't be a yes man here. Tell me what you see. Is that what you see?
The only other person I think that could be having a conversation with him is the other guy, the black hat with his head down.
Right, the black hat with his head down. This guy right here?
That's the only other guy I think.
I don't know about you, but here's what I see. Again, not a conspiracy theorist. I see 4 or 5 referees looking down at the ground, doing one of these, turning their head sideways, and it looks a whole hell of a lot like a bunch of guys trying to hear what's going on in their ear. That's my conspiracy theory, all right? And look, it was a bad call. It was 100% a bad call. But this right here, a bunch of looking at the ground, they don't even talk to each other. They look at one another, and again, I don't know what's going on. I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm an idiot. He walks right over to the sideline. Here's what really sold this for me. This is just weird. Look at this guy and tell me he don't know what's about to happen. Everybody else on the sidelines confused as piss. All right, even Sark. Sark's got a weird look on his face, like, what's about to happen? This dude right here sells it for me. I'm like, whoa, this is weird. He's either a plant or he knows something I don't know. All right, here we go. Watch his face. He's smiling already. He already knows. Yep, here we go. We back this way. I don't know. I'm just being a jackass, Rhett. I'm just trolling. I'm just being a jackass. Let's move on. All right, so here we go. Big play. Big momentum play. All right, Texas back in it. Thanks to the trash on the field. Let's go to 41-18. A lot of stuff going on here. Don't quite know. Quinn's got to rip this ball. Quinn's got to rip this football. Don't know what we see here on the notes, but there must be space available. Oh, yeah, you got to get rid of that. I know this guy's great. I know this guy's really, really good. But we got to find a way. The guys in the league are great too. We got to find a way to give that guy a chance because we've got leverage. We can actually run, but we can't take this sack right here. Not in my opinion. Timestamp, J. Will? 48. Here we go. I think we got off script here. 41. Here we go. Similar concept here, knowing again that you're going to get this man concept. This is a winner right here. All right. He knows again that they're going to get some type of man here. He's got the back. He's taking either the tight end working in and he's going out. All right. And he's taking number 2 coming out as well. Okay, so you're going to get some type of what works into man-to-man coverage. There it is. Boom. All right, so he's going to have to close on this. He's running with this. And now we're attacking number 3. All right, we're going to sell the outside stick, work back inside. I think CJ's leverage is just a little bit too outside. Okay, this moment right here is where he gets beat. Right there. All right, playing a little bit too on the outside foot on that double move from the running back. But again, Sark's finally getting back to concepts that he knows at least are going to work, but he had to get himself into those positions in the red zone to even call those plays. And that was the hard part in this football game, right? All right. Hold on. Left tackle false steps. Left tackle false steps. all right? Meaning he doesn't gain ground. All right, he clicks the left heel first, then steps beneath himself on his right step, all right? And then catches contact, all right? Takes what would be an illegal hands to the neck, head or neck area right there. See his head getting snapped, Jonathan? But here's the problem. You know why we don't get the call? Because we're not accelerating our feet. We're not running this way. And if we run into that forcible contact to the head or neck area, we will create a head snap. But we have no head snap being created because we're getting rolled backwards. And it blows the play up. All right, I can't see nothing on this play. I think Bobo's trying to get into it right here. All right, he's trying to run this Dover and then run that corner back. The same route that they ran against Clemson. Some news just break? Yeah. What happened? Oh, shout out Georgia Hoops. All right, so there we go. We got that going on right there, but we can't see it. It gets well covered. Pressure happens as well. So there's that. All right, let's move on. We're almost done here, Jay Will. An absolute dot route and play call here from Georgia. An absolute dot, an absolute route and a half, and an absolute play call. I told you they've been playing that. Corner's going to get inside, put their butts to the middle of the field. All right, they're going to split the looks from the safety. It's a pseudo cover 3. All right, and if we run this, all right, get into the window of this corner and break this dig off, it should run to grass right here as well. Look at here. Boom. All right, we're going to flare the back and the tight to draw the safety, and then use that guy's leverage against him as a play caller here. Boom. And then to throw that ball right on the dot, 3rd and 10, backed up in your own end, just an absolute piss missile. Great job all around. Now, timestamp for me, Jay Will.
51.
All right, I want to talk about this right here. Let's go to the last possession for Texas, or one of the last possessions for Texas, the last meaningful possession for Texas. Let's go to 51-16. Okay, 3rd and 12 right here. Stark's got a brilliant play called again. He's got one-on-one, running back on the tight or on the linebacker. Same play call he had in the red zone on a touchdown play. This guy's breaking in. Now, we're going to have to throw it over the linebacker, and we're going to have to avoid the referee and catch this football to win this football game, or at least get into this football game again. And here's the deal. It don't happen, right? The play does not get made. All right, barely misses the linebacker's fingertips, and then the running back can't quite get his hands on it. All right, so that's one thing, right? We can't quite make the plays even when the coordinator was out here giving them to us. We got quarterbacks turning down obvious winners. We got running backs not quite running the grass. We got offensive linemen not recreating space. We can't protect. We can't throw the ball deep. Y'all get the point, okay? Now, 51-24, right? 51-24. Look at this stem late in the game. 4th and 12. They bump into this, a full-on cover 0. Well, they got some one high safety, but a full-on send 6 pressure or send 6 blitz from Georgia right there. Boom, right home. Oh, man, I missed the false start on you guys. There's that as well. Yeah, this was another example of, I mean, you don't win football games against great football teams when you do this type of stuff. Look at this, okay? Where is the false start call? All right, 46-06. All right, so it's 3rd and 7. I think you run the football. No, you throw the football here and get it completed. Oh, a screen. This screen play was delightful. It's a tremendous play call. And here is one thing that I think Georgia obviously got away with. This is the targeting. I think this is probably the 3rd targeting of the football game that didn't get called, and it's a big one too, okay? So that forces 4th and 1 right there. That big rally to the football, team speed, tremendous effort from KJ Bolden running it down, physical play, get him knocked out of bounds, 4th and 1 right here, and then check it out. Their best player, their most dependable player on 4th and 1 ends up getting a false start right here, forces a 4th and 6, And then on 4th and 6, you already know what happens. 4th and 6. Now look at this right here. Look at this man dial up a pass rush against Banks. It's over with. Boom. That immediate hezzy back inside to get him his weight back on his inside foot, nasty. And then the overhand hand swipe, nasty. And then the long arm stick into the neck, nasty. And then fighting for the ball, nasty. Just nasty all over the place. But it only happened because he was able to dial up a rush. Only happened because he's able to dial up a rush. And I want to talk to the haters. I want to talk to the haters to close this episode. Let's get out here. I'm going to randomly find this one too. This is when we need some guy over here to just be like all of our post edit stuff, so I don't have to do it myself. All right, here we go. Let's get to the last play of the game. 4th and 6. 4th and 6. He's on the field for a reason, guys. He's on the field for a reason. Watch this. Watch this overhand swipe and jump. Oh, get out of here, right tackle. Get out of here, right tackle. Oh, he can't pass rush. He can't pass rush. You busy. You busy over there. Is it a big commit?
It's 7'1" center.
A 7'1" center. We got us a footer. We got us a footer. All right, so I've been thinking lately, how am I going to challenge this audience to see who the real ones are? To see who's out here 58 minutes deep in the cut. You know what I mean? Trying to be a certified ball knower. So here's what we're going to do. Comment footer. Footer if you're out here watching the end of this one. Love you. Bye.